Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app, O'Connor and Company.
It's 7:07. It's O'Connor and Company on this Thursday morning in your nation's capital. Thanks so much for being part of our morning conversation. Larry O'Connor with Bethany Mandel of the Mom Wars. Don't forget to subscribe to and participate in the Mom Wars at Substack and podcast ecosphere. I don't know where the podcast is also at Substack, but everywhere else, right? Mom Wars?
Yeah. And I'm excited to get into some Mom Wars right now.
Let's do it. In a moment, momentarily, we're going to speak with a brand new school board member in Loudoun County where, that's what Mom Wars are all about right now. At 8:05, KT McFarland, and at 8:35, Congressman Brandon Gill. Amy Riccardi, and I'm not overstating it, she was the big winner.
The only winner.
She was the big winner coming out of Tuesday. Big winner in Virginia. The big winner, I mean, honestly, I haven't seen any other race in New York City, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, where we've got this kind of success story. Amy Riccardi, a nonpartisan race, to be sure, in the Loudoun County School Board, but she was backed and endorsed by the Republican Party, and her opponent, the incumbent, Arbin Estrefi, was backed and supported by the Democrats. And Amy Riccardi, congratulations on your victory.
Hey, Larry, it's good to chat with you again. And Bethany, it's great to meet you. I'm so excited.
We're excited for you. Excited. I mean, I think we can all learn a lesson here. This was a rematch, right? Ms. Estrefi, I'm sorry, Arbin Estrefi defeated you last time, and this time outspent you by a factor of nearly 3-1, and you won decisively with over 50% of the vote. So how'd you do it?
Yeah, that's the question, right? So our last race in 2023 was actually a three-way race. There was an independent, and Arbin was endorsed by the Democrats, and then I came in very late, and the Republicans asked me to run. I was really excited about doing that, but I came in literally a week before the filing deadline. We ran a really great race last time, and I think if it hadn't been a three-way race, it would have been within like 100 votes one way or the other.
Wow.
As a win. And I definitely outworked my opponent last time. So I think what I did, to be honest with you, is I took a really good look at the 2023 campaign. And then I looked at the other winner in 2023, which was Lauren Chernoff out in Leesburg, who ran as an independent, and looked at the model that she used to win. And then replicated that this time. I also actually worked for her last year as her policy aide for the school board, so I stayed engaged over this last year.
Oh, huge.
And had a chance to really watch my opponent. Yeah, I had a chance to really watch him very closely this last year.
That's great. And also, obviously, there was a lot of news coming out of the Loudoun County schools over the last year with regard to the boys who were suspended because there was a girl in the locker room, and the violations of Title IX and the interruption of funding from the federal government because of that. Were these issues raised? Did you bring them up to the voters? Because we know where Arbin, where he stood on these issues. There was a craving for change and some reform there at the Loudoun County school system, I would think.
Yeah, there is, and the Sterling District is really unlike the rest of Loudoun County. This is where kind of the salt of the earth, blue-collar workers in Northern Virginia live. My husband is a general contractor, so I mean, we come from that background. I've lived in Sterling for 16 years. People are aware of those issues, but not to the degree the rest of the county is. But I will tell you, if I didn't get asked every day, a couple dozen times a day about my take on boys and girls bathrooms, it was unbelievable. I had so many people come up and ask me just my view on that. And based on that alone would take my simple ballot and go in and vote.
Wow.
I believe it.
So I don't doubt that you worked your tail off and that you earned this. But how much of this do you think, your victory, do you attribute to the fact that Democrats overplayed their hand? And I want to circle back for a moment on the fact that you really did earn this, because Democrats overplayed their hand in many, many other places and still won. But what do you think set you apart in that they went kind of crazy and you were able to actually achieve an electoral victory out of that?
Yeah, so here's what I would say. So I have a management consulting business. I've had it for 24 years. So I really used kind of that management consultant approach for this campaign to say, okay, what what didn't work well and what worked well the first time around, and then how do we improve upon this and stay laser focused on a core group of fact-based issues, not only about what's on in Sterling, but also about my opponent and what he has and hasn't done over the last 2 years. And we just stayed on those things. And so in this case, my opponent hasn't shown up for the community or even for the job. He's missed more than 80 votes. He has been 100% of the time voting for boys and girls bathrooms and all of those things.
Yeah.
And he actually ran for the open house seat back in January. So he bailed on this job a year into it to run for that higher office.
Yeah, and so often we see people using the school board seat as just a stepping stone for higher political office, and it's sort of lost the spirit of what being on the school board is supposed to be about, which is the children, which I'd love for you to talk about. I mean, now that you've won this victory, and congratulations, what are your priorities once you're sworn in as a member of the Loudoun County School Board?
Yeah, so we have 10 schools in the Sterling district. 7 of them are Title I schools, which are economically, students that are economically disadvantaged. And 54% of those kids are English learners, reading 2 and 3 grade levels behind. And again, that was our message, and everybody that lives in Sterling Park knows this. Teachers, staff, cafeteria workers. I mean, I had all kinds of people coming to me during early voting and telling me their stories. And it just kind of helped. We got deep in the data too. I personally got deep in the data because, of course, you can't FOIA request this information and actually get it from LCPS. They refused to share it. So I went in and did my own data research and pulled the data and information. And then as we were unfolding the story, that was a really big thing, is we have to get these kids up to speed in reading, math, science really quickly. And we can't do a pilot program. We need to get them up to speed now. And for every, year that we wait and slow roll this, we have a whole other group of kids graduating behind in reading. And that's a core, that's so important.
So now that you have been elected, what's the plan? What are you going to do? Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, yesterday I got a message from our superintendent and to start the onboarding process. And so the 3 of us will be onboarded here over the next couple of weeks. I'll tell you what's going to be really fascinating. 2 school board member associations are having their their state conferences in the next 2 weeks. And so it's going to be very interesting to hear what comes out of the Virginia School Board Association and the School Board Member Alliance. They're two different groups that are here in Virginia, and the messaging they're going to have about what they want to do and what their view is, because, of course, we're still at a 5-4 minority on the school board. So we're going to, it's going to be fascinating to kind of see over the next couple of months what's going to happen. We get installed on January 6th, I believe.
Okay. All right. And just one final question. Did you meet with a lot of resistance or negative campaigning or anything by the teachers' unions or any of the associations that represent teachers?
No, I was pretty strategic with meeting with them, even though I wasn't endorsed by them. And by the way, I'm a teacher at George Mason, too. I'm an adjunct professor there. So I've been teaching at George Mason. So it was fascinating that didn't happen, but not surprising. Yeah, it's I didn't from them, but I'll tell you, we did get a lot of negative feedback. I'm apparently a MAGA extremist.
Yeah.
And so they
yeah,
that was their
aren't we
narrative
all?
for me.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
well.
And they went after my volunteers, so it was pretty crazy.
And you won. Bottom line is you won.
And we won.
And Amy Riccardi, we're proud of you. We're excited for you. Congratulations. It's great talking with you again. And I want to point out, Amy Riccardi raised $37,000, which in the grand scheme of things, especially in Loudoun County, ain't a whole lot of money at all. And she was able to do it, as you heard, strategically and actually win. So this should be an example and an inspiration to so many others who really want to make change. This is how you do it. You do what Amy Riccardi did. And we are looking forward to hearing your voice in the Loudoun County School Board meetings. Thank you so much, Amy. Congrats.
Thank you so much, you guys. Have a great day.
7:15 WMAL.
WMAL, making sense of the news. Live from the Home Paramount Pest Control Studios. Home Paramount, the leader in pest control since 1939.
For those of you who are planning travel in the short term here, we're going to try to tell you gently, but you might get a lot of hiccups and speed bumps because of the government shutdown. Yesterday, the Secretary of Transgenderism, Sean Duffy, made an... I'm sorry, what? Oh, I'm sorry. Transportation. That's transportation. I'm sorry, Beth. You see, trans secretary in these days.
Was that a test to see if I was paying attention?
It kind of was, actually. Wanted to make sure you weren't snoozing.
You're responsible for any car accidents that just happened right now.
The trans secretary, Sean Duffy, made an announcement about that. Here's cut 12.
We're getting leverage by way of hurting the American people. And I'm frustrated by it because, again, I look across our system, a system I have worked really hard to make safer. I've worked really hard to bring in more air traffic controllers, more into our academy, more into our training system in our towers and centers. And this does not help us resolve that problem. This makes this problem only worse.
Yeah, and starting this weekend, he announced that there was going to be air travel capacity cut up to 10% at 40 major airports that include some of the busiest hubs in America, including Dallas-Fort Worth, Chicago O'Hare, LAX, and all three major airports in our area, Dulles, Reagan, and BWI. And the real tragedy in all of this is that Bethany and I are both flying this weekend and traveling, and so it's hurting us personally,
yep.
and that
That's
cannot stand.
That's the tragedy. A crazy statistic that I read that I think Duffy shared, the Secretary of Transportation.
Oh, that's right.
shared last week was that 80% of air traffic controllers in New York called out on one day. We've had sporadic closures of airspaces. This is Banana Republic bonkers balls stuff that they're doing this. And I said this in a previous segment. I feel like we'd be hearing about this more. As we'd be hearing from a double amputee with 14 adopted children about SNAP, if this shutdown were Republicans' fault, we would also be seeing like crying interviews of a woman who's trying to go home to say goodbye to her dying mother.
Yeah,
we would be seeing that also. And we have seen next to none of that. And if I need to offer myself as tribute to whatever network to cry about how my business trip might get delayed or canceled, I offer myself. I'm here. I'm here to cry on air.
How very Hunger Games of you.
I know.
And I appreciate it too.
But it can't go on. This is crazy.
It is, and you're the proof positive that the left-wing corporate legacy media acknowledges that Democrats are responsible for this is the lack of coverage. You're 100% right. We'd have the countdown clocks, we're on day 47 and all that stuff. And we're not. We're not seeing it because they know that it is the Democrats' fault. And the Democrats, according to yesterday's developments, which there weren't any, they seem fine prolonging this because they think they're in the catbird seat. They think that they're benefiting from it. They think the results of Tuesday's election is a direct result of their inflicting pain on the American people. So they're going to keep doing it until they somehow get Republicans to bow to their will. Which, by the way, it's funny. These are the people who are always threatened by democracy, and this is a threat against democracy, and democracy is dying, and democracy is when people go and vote, and they voted last year on the federal level, and they affirmed the Republicans to control the White House, to control the Senate, and to control the House, and yet Democrats are asking that majority, the result of the democracy movement of last year, to bow to the will of the minority, the people who lost the elections last year. It's upside down, but of course they're using their leverage. They're using their leverage. We'll see. The bigger question is, I'm flying to Los Angeles for the weekend. You're flying to Chicago for the weekend. Both of those airports are going to be affected. Do we risk it? Do we dare?
Will we get there? Let's everyone weigh in.
Yeah, let us know on social media if we should dare do that. I mean, in Chicago, you have alternatives. You can take the Amtrak back. In L.A., I'll be stranded. I'll be stuck.
Bring your equipment for real.
Might. We'll see.
Do it.
It is 7:23. Coming up, we've got an update on the Louvre jewel heist. It has to do with the password to the security system. I'll just say, I guarantee you have a more secure password than the Louvre had. That's next.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now. Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It's a great Thursday morning in your nation's capital. We appreciate you letting us do a drive along with you here and be your wingman on this morning's commute. Coming up at 8:05, Katie McFarland on all things national security, the tariff debate in the Supreme Court, and, well, she's a New Yorker, so we got to ask her about her new mayor. And then at 8:35, we'll speak with Congressman Brandon Gill. He's now filing impeachment articles against Judge Boasberg after the Arctic frost scandal revelations. We'll speak with Congressman Gill about that. And when I say we, I mean me and she, the one and only Bethany Mandel. Good morning, Bethany. Good to have you.
Good morning. I want to put a plug for the Mom Wars, which you haven't done yet this episode, which I find really annoying.
Wait, I've mentioned the Mom Wars like
600
18 times.
I know. That's why it's funny.
Nothing's good enough for you, Bethany.
I know. There's an anti-Semitic joke in here somewhere. I just posted on the Mom Wars Substack about museums in Washington now that I'm stuck going to museums that charge money because everything is shut down.
Oh, right. Yeah. Once again, the real victim in the shutdown is Bethany Mandel.
That's right.
And
that's right.
Having to pay for museums.
Glad we all cleared this up.
We've got a follow-up story here on the Louvre jewel heist, so let's get our French music going here, as we do love to.
Je peux parler en français maintenant.
Oui. Oh. Napoleon.
I got to speak French on air. That's like a bucket list item right there.
Baguette.
I'm obsessed with the Louvre heist.
Are you?
I'm obsessed with it.
Well, you've got a lot of gall.
Get
it?
And drop his mic.
Thank you. So just an update. You remember there was a brazen jewel heist, which I cannot wait for the Netflix series about this.
I know.
Where crown jewels from the Napoleonic era were stolen. No trace of them. There's no leads. There's no nothing. And there's a lot of people to blame, but one of the targets is the very lax CCTV video security surveillance system that had a lot of like blind spots and areas, and it was obviously an inside job because there was they thread the needle there on the spaces in which the camera system did not pick up activity outside of the window where the jewel thieves crawled in, like the Pink Panther. Oh, no, wait, the Pink Panther was the jewel. I forget what the name of the thief was in the Pink Panther movies. Anyway, regardless of that, that's a big part of this. $102 million worth of jewels that have been stolen here. And the target is the CCTV system that failed, also possibly an employee on the inside. And then there's this. The basic security protocols that the Louvre had in place to protect the world's priceless treasures. Take a listen to this report, cut 14, on the latest revelation.
Shocking museum heist in history, but now we're learning an employee at the Louvre says at the time of last month's robbery, the password to the museum's video surveillance system was, wait for it, the name of the museum, Louvre. The stunning revelation is just the latest example of the security failure at the world's most famous museum. It's unclear if this glaring weakness contributed to last month's heist, where thieves stole upwards of $100 million worth of crown jewels in broad daylight. Authorities have since arrested 4 people accused in the robbery. They believe at least one more person is still at large.
So the person in charge of security at the Louvre, or the director of the Louvre, Laurence Descamps. Laurence. Oh, it's always a Larry, isn't it? There's always a Larry. They always find a Larry to take the fall.
My father-in-law is a Larry. It's okay. You're not all terrible.
So Larry Descamps here said that they didn't detect the thieves' arrival early enough. He was blaming the lack of monitoring on the cameras, but also somebody could have shut down a portion of the system because they knew the password, because the password was Louvre.
Larry.
The person in charge of the security system, though, she'll translate for you, said, hey, it's not our fault. We thought we improved. Before it was 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess that's an improvement.
I have to make a joke. It's 50-50. I might get canceled. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, good.
Of course the French can't secure the Louvre. They can't even secure their borders.
I like that.
Right?
That's a good one.
50-50.
And topical.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Isn't it sort of unnerving considering all of the, I don't know about the various employers you have as a freelancer, but we here at the Cumulus Media Empire, we go through quarterly cybersecurity trainings that we must all do.
But not sexual harassment trainings? Or
No, we do that too. We wait, hey, what are you suggesting?
I got
Hold
you.
on. I
got
see
you.
through that. We do that too. No comment. Anyway, we do through all of the cybersecurity trainings that we do. And by the way, usually most of these trainings, whether it's the sexual harassment training or the cybersecurity training, it's usually just common sense stuff, right?
Right. Louvre.
And one common sense thing is you don't make the password to the Louvre security system Louvre. Unless you're thinking, well, no one will guess this because no one's that stupid.
So I went to the Louvre about a year ago with my older 3 children, and we almost caused an international incident. One of my kids got really excited by seeing a Van Gogh and ran towards it and tripped and went flying towards it. And let me tell you, security was not stellar. It was only by the grace of God that I pulled him back before he went headlong into a Van Gogh. I'm just saying, it's not just in the jewels department. They've got some security issues across the board.
Well, we'll see if they do some sort of upgrade there on the system. There may have been some serious security lapses, said the director. You think?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
It's 7:43. That thing I said to you was sexual harassment, really?
No, you sexually harass me during every commercial break.
Shh. It's not true. It's not true at all. More worried about our spouses hearing that than anything else. It's 7:43.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon on 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
The Michelle Obama Victimization Narcissism book tour continues. She just whines a lot. She is literally one of the most privileged women in this country, and she's constantly complaining about it, Bethany, and it continued the other day. She's selling this book. Have you seen the book that she's selling?
I was literally just about to ask you, wait a second, she wrote a book? That's the news to me, and I work in the news.
Sort of. It's meant to be like a coffee table book, and it's got very high-quality, glossy pictures of her time as First Lady and all of the various high-fashion moments that she had, sort of. And I think it's called, isn't it called The Look?
I don't know.
I think.
I've seen the things that she wears, and I'm not really interested in taking pointers from her. If Melania did that, I'd be all in. I can't pull it off. I love her, but no.
That's the irony here. Yeah, it's called The Look, and it is all about the iconic defining moments of her time and her high fashion as First Lady.
Fashion is spelled F-A-S-H-U-N.
Here is Michelle Obama explaining why she wrote the book and reflecting on her time as First Lady. This is on the Stephen Colbert political talk show. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a comedy show. Well, there is something somewhat comical about this comment. Take a listen, cut 15.
So I wanted to take advantage of the fact that as the First Lady, yes, you can be smart and educated and beautiful and sexy and interesting and all those things. And yes, you can be a black woman, a tall 5'11" black woman. Did you see the shoulder? You missed that. Did you see that?
So
I don't think I need to see my First Lady as sexy, or my Second Lady, or my President, or my Vice President. She seems to be seeking external validation in unhealthy ways, and I would like to spend the next hour talking about why that might be.
Yeah, I'll say, or the next 5 months, actually. That's a book in and of itself. What brings a person to say that about themselves? I showed that you can be smart, beautiful, sexy, and a black. So, I mean, I really worry about her self-esteem, that she doesn't think high enough of herself. Who would you? I mean, who says that? It's just
weird. It's really weird.
And by the way, God, again, maybe I'll get canceled for being a racist because, whenever you challenge racist notions or the idea that a black woman isn't seen as smart, beautiful, or sexy, if you say what I'm about to say, that's validation of your racism, according to Ibram X. Kendi. But I'm sorry, I grew up, I'm Generation X, I grew up in a post-Martin Luther King era. I was raised to believe that you can be smart, beautiful, and sexy regardless of your skin color. And by the way, I think pop culture of the last 40 years validates that.
Yeah.
From Diana Ross to Halle Berry to Beyonce, I think that the culture has embraced black women as being smart, beautiful, and sexy.
Yeah. But I think that this is a really toxic problem for women across the board, that they do seek external validation. And it's really a shame that this is the message that she's sending to young girls and women who do see her as someone to look up to, a role model of sorts. That they need to earn that validation. They need to earn it instead of just saying, like, I don't care what you think. I'm talking to an audience of one right now, and that is my man. And that's the message I'd love to hear from Michelle Obama. That she is a strong, confident woman who doesn't need to put out a coffee table book showing all of her cute outfits and proving herself as a worthy woman, and say, I got my man. He loves me. He thinks I'm sexy. And these are all the things I accomplished. These are all the things I did, not the outfits you wore.
So what you're saying here, I just want to read between the lines, is if you're not getting that internal validation at home from your husband that you are smart and beautiful and sexy, and you have to turn to Stephen Colbert to get it, there may be a problem in the marriage?
So I am saying that, but I'm also saying even if there is a problem in the marriage, the fact that she is seeking this external validation probably signals that the problems in the marriage might not just be solely her husband's. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Yeah, let's chew on that. And by the way, I'm looking forward to the next episode of the Michelle Obama podcast that addresses that. We're here for it. But by the way, let's also not forget that Winsome Sears was just thrown under the bus by Michelle Obama's husband. And she is a smart and beautiful and sexy black woman who just ran for office. And we were to disregard her because she didn't have the right political affiliation. Instead, Obama went gaga for Abigail Spanberger. So there may be something to that as well. It's 7:53.